Hello, friends. I am Dr. Vivek, and today we are going to discuss a very important topic that is unit number 6th, culture studies. That is the unit we are going to discuss today, and this. This is the very important unit, and this is unit which we are going to study, and it's a very important mm, unit in the sense that it has been introduced a very new topic. It is very UGC or NTA has incorporated this topic uh, on the basis of its importance. It's very important, though it's a very new topic which has been introduced in the syllabus. Um, but it's very important. So let's get started. This topic called cultural studies or culture studies. Culture studies basically culture. What is culture? Culture can be explained with many angles, and one of the angle or one of the ways of interpreting culture is sharing of perspectives. We have different perspectives of our life. Every age group, every person is different from the other in the sense that it has different ideas, beliefs, values, thinking. So according to this basis, the person is different, or person, or if we can say other way, different persons have different ideas, beliefs, values, how they are formed, why it's different. The idea of one person is different from other, the beliefs of one person to another group of one person, of person one group is different from other group. So values of one group is different from other group, thinking of one group is different from other group. So how they are different, how they are different, that basically comes under culture studies. Culture studies is an interdisciplinary field of study. Yes, dear friends, it is a interdisciplinary field of study in the sense that many disciplines comes under culture studies. It covers everything like sociology, anthropology, history, political science, many subjects. It incorporates under the term, umbrella term, that is called culture studies. It studies the ways how culture is formed. Yes, dear friend, this is very important. How this culture is formed, how one person's belief is different from other, how one person's culture is different from other culture, one group's culture is different from other group. So how the culture is formed, like on the basis of beliefs, language. So on this basis, the culture of one group or one person is different from the other group or person. It also studies how there is a change of culture. In the culture studies, we study how the culture is changing, how at different period or different ages this culture is changed. Uh, how is changed? So uh, now now this is culture studies is why we study this, why we study culture studies. Uh, Mm, why we study culture studies. There are two reasons for this studying of culture studies. Is it helps in shaping of of syllabus in many universities. Yes, dear friends, culture studies, by on this study of culture studies, we the universities try to shape up the syllabus of theirs, and secondly, it helps in developing a distinct approach in understanding of the text. It gives you, if you have the understanding of culture studies, it will help you in developing a distinctive uh, approach in understanding of culture studies. So it means you have different approach. If you have studied culture studies, then you have a different approach to understand a particular text, in understanding a particular text. uh, this is culture studies, and basically in culture studies is there are three decades. In 50s, 1950s started, and it flourished in 60s and 70s. So in 1950s, trio, three important names are there, which are the propounding father of this culture study, we can say. The first one is from British University, or from Britain, Richard Hoggard, very important name. In 1964, established the Center of Contemporary Culture Studies in Birmingham University. This is the center. This is a center of culture studies, you can say, in Birmingham University. And with the Raymond William, Hogarth and Raymond Williams started this in 1964. It's a very important development which happened in the history of culture studies. And next is E.P. Thompson, very important name. It is which also participated in it. Now, Raymond William, as you know, a very important book, and it has been asked in many NEET exams, off and on, Culture and Society in 1958. So it's a very important book by Raymond William. And the culture materialism, very important term which has been given by Raymond William, where he says that uh, age, uh, age culture, or to understand the particular period or age, by this, by a text, you can understand, or by the text you can understand a particular period, a particular period of period in the history of English literature. So now the Stuart Hall, very important name. He also joined this this group, this center of the Center of Culture Studies in 1964. A very important name again. He also participated and he's given his uh, role. He has given his uh, his role, or his views, or he also participated in this group. It has given its own perspective in it. Rola Barthes, very important name, who has written Mythologies in 1957. It's also a very important book. It has been also asked in many exams of NET. Uh, now, uh, now we uh, now the Michael Foucault, the French philosopher, very important French philosopher, who has talked about on gender, sexuality, gay liberation, women's studies, ethnicity. So there are wider areas which has been talking about by the writers, by the different writers. They are talking about gender issues, sexuality, gay liberation, women's studies, even ethnicity in their works, in their talks. Critical theories under this culture studies. Uh, there are many critical theories which comes. We can say it is a umbrella term, culture studies, under which there are many theories. So through this theories, we understand the culture studies. So theories like PCL, post-colonial literature, psychoanalysis, structuralism, post-structuralism, lesbian theory, feminism, Marxist theory. So these theories help you out in understanding the culture of a group or society or country. So these help you in understanding the culture. Culture studies in 1960s or 70s flourished. Now the question arises, why, what to study, why, what to study under culture studies? Basically for preparation, if we say that you have to prepare for net exams, so what are the study, what are the material we are going to study in this term, culture studies? So how culture affects individual experience of life. So here in culture study we try to understand or try to study, or we study this how culture affects the individual experience. Individual, the experiences, one person's experience is different from other person's experience. So how it is different, how it's different, the reason we try to understand in culture studies. So, or what do we study in cultural studies? The social relations with power, how the society's relation with one another uh, is relations are affected by the power politics, how it affects the society's relations or social relations. Thinkers under this culture studies, we study thinkers of English literature. There are different thinkers of English literature. So we study under this, and non-literary modes of production of culture. We study the non-literary, literary modes of production of culture studies. We definitely we are going to study, but it's also important the non-literary modes of production of culture like art, music, fashion, visual culture. So under this, we study these things, and it is also said that it's a anti-disciplinary. It is does not have any discipline as such. So that's why it is called anti-disciplinary. Cannot term as a discipline, particular discipline. You cannot tell, or it is just opposite of it. It covers everything in in that sense. So Toby Miller says culture studies is a tendency across disciplines. Across disciplines. It's not a particular discipline, but across disciplines, and rather than a discipline. You cannot term it as a discipline. So it is. So we can say it's an anti-disciplinary the culture studies. Now this is all under which we study. It's a just a idea. I gave you an idea how you can start, or how what are the things that can be incorporated in this term or this unit, culture studies. So this is our overview of how you can study and what you can study in under the term culture studies. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much.